You're not going to be happy with me after this is over with, Mr. Moore. I'm going to tell you that. You're laughing and smiling now. You now picked up.
This is already off to a rough start. The judge isn't just reacting to this case, he's reacting to a pattern. 5 marijuana charges? That's not a mistake anymore, that's a lifestyle. Question for you, at what point should repeat offenses stop being treated lightly?
You picked up a new case while you're on bond. You now are charged with possession of marijuana. And as I can see, this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th marijuana case. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Okay.
On July 13th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop at approximately 1:49 a.m. on a blue Charger parked on the side of the road with multiple individuals hanging around the vehicle. And the vehicle also drove off and failed to signal while making a right turn. The driver was ID'd as Robert Moore. The passenger was ID'd as Kevin Owens. Officers observed a strong odor of marijuana from the vehicle. A large bag was in the back seat containing multiple prepackaged marijuana baggies. Neither defendants claimed ownership of the baggies, and the total weight was 22.1 grams.
So what were they doing?
They were on the side of the road, hanging outside of the vehicle, and then they drove off and failed to signal while making a right turn.
Okay, so that's what led the cops led them to pull him over. Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. What is the one thing I asked you not to do?
Catch another case.
What did you do?
Catch a case.
Guess what happens now?
And there it is, the moment everything shifts. Picking up a new charge while out on bond is one of the fastest ways to lose a judge's trust. Legally speaking, this signals risk to the court. Emotionally, you can hear the frustration. This isn't disappointment, it's exhaustion.
He goes with you. Sorry, man.
Your Honor, can we approach the court right now asking for a bond?
Yeah, I mean, of course I'm going to send him a bond.
And even in regards to, I know it's probably for cross hearings, but I know they're saying that he made a right turn. We're still waiting for dash cam, but the biggest issue that they were saying was that the gas station he was at is a high crime area.
I don't care about that.
Thing was just him having people around the vehicle.
I mean, ultimately they pull him over.
Listen closely. This isn't just about marijuana anymore. The judge is zeroing in on behavior and environment. The company you keep might sound cliche, but in court, it can directly impact your freedom. So here's the real question. Is the system trying to punish him or redirect him?
He's slinging, you know what I mean? So I'm not happy. And it's his 5th weed case. It's over and over and over, and he's not getting it. So what do we do to get him to get it? You know, I don't know.
And I will say, I know that there's been a gap in time. Like, I think his last charge he had was from 2018, and then just have these recent two. And I think the biggest thing is just the company that he's keeping. And we talked about that before. I just was recently returned.
I get it. And so what we'll do is that once he gets out, we will try to, I'll make it a condition that he's not to hang around with any of the co-defendants or anything like that. And we'll see. Hopefully he can abide. Yeah.
And I told the court will provide I know it said the defendant didn't take ownership, but the other defendant Owens has. And so I'm just waiting to get that from the court so that he was taking ownership of the drugs that were in the vehicle.
Okay.
So I'll get that to the court.
So what did he get? What did the co-defendant get charged with?
Possession of marijuana, 4 ounces to 5 pounds. It's in the 182nd.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess so what's going to happen is he'll pop back up on Monday's docket. I'm assuming he's going to bond out because I'm not making it super high.
Okay.
If he is still if he hasn't bonded out, he'll be here Monday morning. If not, he'll be here in a week, and we'll probably see him next Friday. Yeah. Thanks. 5,001. Yeah.
5,001.
One. Yeah. On the UCW, please.
Oh, on the UCW.
Just on the UCW, correct. I will leave the first bond for the weak kids. I'll leave it alone. Okay, thanks. Sorry.
No problem, I understand, you just do your job.
So how many times does this dude evaded us?
2 PR bonds posted. This is the second one.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now the tone changes again, and not in a good way. Multiple PR bonds? That's basically the court saying, we trusted you to act right without supervision. And now that trust is gone. When judges start stacking consequences like this, it usually means patience has officially run out.
I'm not done with him getting multiple PR bonds like that.
Hold on.
Case is 351 days old. You get PR bond after PR bond. I don't think so, Mr. Robinson. No, I will appoint you a lawyer today. He goes with you. Can you please appoint him someone and then we'll talk? But ma'am, don't send him down. Yeah.
Page 1, Applegate.
Don't send him down though. Yeah, thanks. Good morning, Mr. Applegate. Sir, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On July 13th, 2024, officers conducting routine business checks due to burglaries because of lack of electricity because of Hurricane Beryl. Officers checked out on a suspicious male at a Goodwill that was closed at the time. The defendant was observed by the officers to be placing items in his vehicle. They made contact with the defendant and conducted a Terry frisk, which discovered 2.6 grams of marijuana. The defendant said he was picking up scrap metal from outside the location, and the defendant had a felony warrant for burglary of a building.
Okay, so this isn't, because I see that he's got an open burglary of a building. This is, don't say anything. I don't need your help.
It's unrelated. It's a separate transaction.
So I guess they didn't charge him with anything as far as their
Correct. The
concerned.
burglary of a building was April of last year, and he was on a warrant for that case at the time. He's posted bond.
So where was the weed? In his pocket?
In his pocket.
Can you tell me about the burglary of a building, please?
2023, 7110 Barker Cyclist Road. We responded to Rainforest Car Wash, spoke with the manager, said the defendant was a former employee, had broken into the business and stole a vacuum and buffer. Victim said the defendant came back and asked for his job back. Manager showed business surveillance to the police of the defendant pulling up in his Lincoln Navigator, forcing his way into the business and taking the property.
This is a textbook example of how judges use bond conditions as control mechanisms. It's not just about what you did, it's about preventing what you might do next. Random drug testing, restrictions, this is the court tightening the leash. But be honest, do these rules actually change behavior or just delay the inevitable?
Mr. Applegate, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find alcohol or dope, I will put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond extremely high. Do you understand? My sole purpose in life is to protect every single person and every single piece of property in Harris County. If I find that you act like a fool while you're out there in the free world, I will take it away from you in a heartbeat. Do you understand? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care where you're going. I don't care who you're with. You endanger my property. You endanger my public. I'm gonna light you up. Do you understand? What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed right now. Right now, I'm just doing cleanup, like cutting the trees down and everything like that because of the storms.
Do you have a full-time job? It's time for you to get a full-time job. You have way too much time on your hands and you are becoming self-destructive. All you're doing is you're picking up more cases, doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. Do you understand? I will appoint you a lawyer today. I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks and I want to see what you have done to get a full-time job. If you've done nothing, it's just not going to go well for you. Do you understand me? I don't know if there's an application on file or not. Deeds is not working again. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while I find you a lawyer. After that, you're going to meet with Tracy for your bond conditions. You are now on notice. I'm telling you, if you don't have anyone to pony up a $10,000 to $15,000 bond on you, you will be stuck like Chuck in jail until this case is over. Behave yourself. Do you understand? All right.
So that was 2 weeks to get a job?
Yeah. Well, to see what he's done to get a job. Be back here in 2 weeks.
State's bond conditions?
No, with Tracy. Make sure that he's not using. You, Kenneth Henderson. Mr. Henderson, you're charged with failure to identify oneself. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On July 11th, 2024, officers were dispatched to an assault in progress call at a park. When they arrived, the two parties matching the description were already walking away. Officers approached the defendant, who provided his name, Kenan Henderson, 6206, date of birth. Officers were unable to get a hit and asked him to re-verify. The defendant stated—
Again, what's he doing wrong at the park?
There was an assault, Your Honor.
Oh, there was an assault.
There was an assault call in progress, and the defendant
Oh.
and the other party matched the description.
Got it. Okay.
Officers were unable to get a hit and asked him to re-verify. The defendant stated it was correct and that he was 18 and never had a TCID and a Texas ID and did not know his social security number. He got upset and stated he wasn't lying. The defendant gave his mother's phone number to verify, and she gave the true information. The defendant gave a false date of birth and concealed that he was 21 years old, dating a 16-year-old.
And here's where things get interesting. The charge itself, failure to identify, might seem minor, but the underlying details? Age deception, possible relationship issues, and an assault call in the background. Sometimes the smallest charge opens the door to much bigger concerns. This is less about paperwork and more about credibility.
So the information he gave was just the wrong date of birth? What happened with the assault investigation? Was there an actual assault?
That's what they were dispatched to, Judge. I'll have to do some follow-up, but we didn't charge him with an assault or anybody else.
And so you're saying that in the call for the assault, he matched the description?
That's correct, Judge. That's what's being alleged it is.
All right. Mr. Henderson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. So you're 18, correct? Or how, are you 19? How old are you?
21.
What do you do for a living? Nothing?
Oh,
NRZ, with Andy Frame.
Did you graduate from high school? Why not?
Professional medical.
What grade did you make it to?
Well,
I mean, you're almost there. Why didn't you follow through, man? You just dropped out on the last year. Why? It's time for you to go back. And I want to see you go back. And I am now making that a condition of your bond that you and I together are going to try to get your GED. You cannot roll around life with, at the very minimum, a high school diploma. You will go nowhere. You will make pennies on the dollar for the rest of your life. This life is a journey, and it can be a great journey, or it could be an absolute miserable, rotten toilet of an existence. And I'm going to tell you, if you have no money, it's going to be a rotten life, because you need money for everything in life. And if you don't have money, you'll never get a car. You'll never go on a vacation. You want to get a wife one day? You want to keep that wife? If you ain't got no money, all you're going to do is fight. It's a miserable, rotten existence. And it starts with getting, at the minimum, your high school diploma. So, I will give you a lawyer today. In 2 weeks, I want you back here to show me what you have done to start looking about getting into GED classes. I have the lawyer who has resources to also help you out so that we can give you money, we can give you computers, whatever you need. But it starts with you. Do you understand? I'm telling you, life sucks without money. It's really real. Everyone wants to see you fail. Everyone laughs when you fall down. Don't give them a reason. And it starts with your high school diploma. You understand? No smoking any dope. I'm going to test you. I will test you 31 days from today. If I see that you're smoking dope, then you will get your GED with me behind bars. Do you understand? Okay? I'm not asking for much. Make me proud. All right. Can you reach out to the MAC for him, and then we'll see him back in 2 weeks, see what he's done? Okay. Mr. Henderson, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we start on all the paperwork for you.
Three co-defendants. First one is page 8, Jackson. Real. And then page 11, Odom, come on up. And then page 17, Thomas, come on up. Gonzalez Jennifer.
Okay.
All right, Judge, page 8, Jackson. Page 11, Odom. Page 17, Thomas.
All of you are charged with possession of marijuana. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On July 11th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle for failing to come to a complete stop at a four-way intersection with all the traffic lights off. The driver quickly exited the vehicle and was detained and ID'd as defendant Alexis. Defendant Odom exited the passenger side and started walking away and was detained. The defendant Thomas got out of the back driver's side door, and defendant Jackson was in the back passenger side door. There was a Glock in the driver's side floorboard, unholstered, round in the chamber within arm span of defendant Alexis, who is 20. And defendant Odom had a backpack on and it was open and a baggie of marijuana was visible. 51 grams of marijuana was recovered, an electric scale, and a Glock was in Odom's backpack. Defendant Thomas had 7.23 grams of marijuana tucked in her bra. Defendant Jackson's purse smelled of marijuana and 4.88 grams of marijuana was in the purse.
Who's the driver?
It says defendant Alexis, but
Defendant Alexis is in court at 3, Your Honor. For whatever reason.
So there's a fourth.
there's a four.
What's the cause number, please?
251-9367.
That's the earliest cause number.
So they may all know.
You can do that now?
I can, I'll take a seat after the judge.
Okay. Here's the deal. You guys are all getting transferred to court 3 because they've got the lowest cause number. We're going to do the transfer order here momentarily. I'm going to sign it and then we're going to send you all to court 3. So if you just mind just taking a seat over there, we'll be back with you momentarily. Do not leave, guys.
All right, Judge, page 9, Johnson. There's a co-defendant on this one, last name Williams. That one landed in court 3, but should come.
What page was it?
Page 9.
Okay. Are you Patricia Johnson? Ms. Johnson, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, ma'am. Okay.
On July 13th, 2024, officers received credible information from a concerned citizen that the co-defendant, a currently wanted person in Harris County, Texas for felony family assault, was inside a residence located at 710 West Bluff Drive in the garage portion of the residence. After opening the garage of the residence, officers observed the defendant lying in bed next to the co-defendant. As officers began to call the defendant and co-defendant out of the garage, officers observed several items of drug paraphernalia, such as used glass pipes and a white powdery substance wrapped in a clear plastic bag. Through further investigation, deputies observed 1.5 grams of marijuana located underneath the white powdery substance. And at the time of the incident, it was unclear what the substance was, but neither the defendant or co-defendant claimed ownership of the substance that had an approximate weight of 2 grams.
So how do you know it's hers? She's just at the house, right?
Right, Your Honor.
Is it her house?
It's unclear whose house it was. It's
Patricia Johnson. Ms. Johnson, just take a seat for me in the jury box. I'll be back with you here momentarily. I need to do a deeper dive on your case. You can get your stuff. So Williams is upstairs though, right? Ma'am, take a seat for me at the jury box.
It's in court 3.
Oh, that's